Okay.
Excuse me. Yeah.
Sorry to let you know, Jared. I had us muted, so they didn't hear any of that. I just turned it back on. So,
Okay. Well, we should probably just get going. But anyway, this is the Midsummer Rivals top four semifinal between Roland Chang on Red Deck Sly and Aaron Dix on the Rock, a Living Wish Rock deck. And want to just let them get going, or is there anything
yep,
else we can
yep.
break
I
down?
will. I'm resetting the life totals, and you can let them go. I'll catch up, um, and we should be good.
Okay, so here we go. We got Aaron Dix on the play. He starts it off with the Swamp, and the classic as Rock gets is turn one duress. And looks like he's going to have some options here. So again, Roland's on the red deck, so he's got some options. You got a Fire Blast, a Parasitic Pillar, which actually sounds pretty good, a Curse Scroll, and an Incinerate that are the options.
Wait, Pyrostatic Pillar? That's not the
I'm
card.
sorry, Sulfuric
Sulfuric
Vortex.
Vortex. Okay.
Yeah, Sulfuric Vortex. Yeah,
All right.
and yep, he chose the Vertex. I had a feeling that was going to go.
Yeah, that's one of the cards is like, well, first of all, there's life gain in the rock deck with Ravenous Baloth, and second of all,
Right.
if the rock typically makes the games kind of go long, and that can deal a lot of damage.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. And I think he wants to like he doesn't want to have to pop a deed for three. He wants to pop a deed for one, one ideally if he needs to pop a deed at all. You know
yeah,
what I mean? Like he doesn't want to have to wait around, waste 3 men on a vortex if he doesn't have to. And again, we got another classic start from the red deck, the pup go.
yeah, I love it.
So
I love Jackal Pup in the red deck. It's just
oh, it's
like
perfect. Yeah.
it's I want it all the time
Yep.
in the opening turn, and it makes so much of a difference. Like if you just start with a pup, that if you're able to get in like 4 damage, it just makes your burn spells so much better.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It just cuts down that life total huge, and it's such a perfect red card in that like it's efficient for its power and toughness, and like its downside. Well, it is a real downside. It's just like who cares? You're
Yeah,
the red
I
deck.
mean, there are times that it comes back to bite you, but I mean, you can not play it, or it's just one of the concessions you make with the deck. And
Ooh.
here, all right, this is what Aaron needs to stay in this game because, as we talked about, Jackal Pup just going unanswered and dealing a bunch of damage. The
Yeah.
Pernicious Deed is a great way to get rid of that and the Grim Lavamancer that has been
Yeah.
played.
Yeah. I think yeah, this is definitely gonna be a 2-for-1 right here. And I mean, he's still gonna be a 12 after all this though. The pup's
Oh,
gotten in 3 times.
yeah, if you want to announce life totals, otherwise I forget. So,
Yeah, I think this is the third time the pup got in, and then you're gonna get burned with the lavamancer for 2 more. So
so
that's gonna.
what is Aaron at?
Aaron should be at 12 by now. He didn't fetch, so well no, he says 14. He's about to probably go to 12 once he
Okay.
pops this disc.
All right, so 14 and 19. Do they have? I see Roland. Oh no, those are just dice he has at the top.
Those are
Yeah,
just dice.
and Aaron has a life counter, but it's cryptic.
Harder.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah,
Might
who
as
knows
well
how to
be.
read that?
It's ancient text. It's actually pretty
Exactly.
cool. But
Yeah.
all right. So do we know what they're at
I think we got 19 for
for
which
Roland?
no for Roland. Yeah, he's only fetched once,
Yeah, and
and
Aaron,
then
you think is at 12
he should be
or
at
at
12 now.
14?
He got hit
Okay, I'm
three
putting him
times
at
by the
12. All right.
I think 3 times by the pup. 1, 2, or maybe just 14.
So
Can't
Roland
remember.
only had one mountain for a bunch of turns, so
Yeah.
that at least gives Aaron a little bit of breathing room.
Yes.
So um,
Yeah. The red deck wants exactly 2 lands. Like it almost never wants a third, except for if it's going into the ball lightning.
yeah, Sulfuric Vortex, and I mean it can leverage um, multiple lands against decks that are like blue white. So Spirit
Mhm.
Monger is coming down. So this is the one thing that's pretty important from the rock deck is applying pressure so that the red deck doesn't have a lot of time to draw additional burn spells. So Spirit
Right.
Monger is a very efficient creature to
Mhm.
increase the clock for the rock deck.
Right. Got Roland using the old gatherer to fire
There,
up some old
there
spirit
are
monger.
lots of abilities on Spirit Monger, so it's
I remember when Spirit Monger
important to
came out,
know.
I was like, this is like the best creature ever. It has like 3 good abilities and it's a 6/6 for 5. Like it's above curve already.
Yeah,
Like how is this not like but like this is how crazy creatures have gotten since then, is that like that's complete unplayable garbage, you know what
well,
I
the
mean?
funny thing is, though, is as good as it seemed and kind of was in standard, it wasn't even good.
No,
Like it wasn't even played in standard. So
no, because it was in the standard at the same time as like Blastoderm, which was just a mana cheaper and had Shroud.
yeah.
So it was played a little bit, but not. It was like a one of. It
I don't
wasn't like
even
it was
think,
a
but I don't
four.
even think there was an invasion block deck that played Spiritmonger that was very good.
I think they tried to squeeze it into like a Dark Fires deck occasionally, but
Well,
that was
fires
about it.
wouldn't be block. I'm just talking about invasion block.
Oh, Invasion Block. Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So Spiritmonger is coming in. So
Take that six,
oh, so
whatever.
he's taking the six. Mogfanac at least has the opportunity to block and sack, and then it doesn't get another counter. Ooh, and so
Yeah, this is kind of
Ravenous
tough.
Bayless is coming down, and Spiritmonger is a beast. So, not that you really want to sack it at this point, but it is an
No.
option that he will have.
Okay. Yeah,
So,
this that second land drop a little while ago kind of lost the tempo for Roland, and then of course the deed
certainly,
race sitting the board was huge.
yeah. But yeah, and then if Aaron's able to curve out and play like Spiritmonger and Ravenous Bayless, then I don't know what Roland needs to resolve
It needs to resolve Vortex and
Vortex.
also
But even then,
and
like Aaron could just respond by gaining some life, and he could have a 6/6 in play, and he's still
mhm.
probably going to win that race.
Yeah, I think he probably just wants to draw some Fanatics and
All right.
some. There's the Vortex.
So he
I think
fetched
that
again, so I think it's 12 each.
yeah, that sounds about right. You think he should sack in response to this just to make sure he gets that 4 life?
I think so.
Looks like he's letting it resolve.
Well, I guess I
He
would
lit, he
because I
let it
think the
resolve.
ways that you lose are Roland burning you out. So I think, and you do have a treetop village in play. So like attacking with 6 and +3, you're dealing a ton of damage. I would have gained 4, but
I would have gained 4 too.
so
This
Marfinak's probably going to block the. Oh, is he? How is he not blocking?
Well, he's probably down to 4, or they'd be down to 2. Yeah, I mean, this is kind of like his
No,
last hurrah.
because
I don't know why not
he's
block
at
down that
12. He
Fanatics.
can't. He has to block. I
Yeah,
would say
there it
like
goes. Yeah,
he would
yeah,
die otherwise. So he's going to block the Spearmonger and deal damage to Aaron.
yeah,
So Aaron's at 11, and then Roland takes 4 down to 8,
yeah.
and he's going to take. Oh, I guess. Sorry, Aaron's at 9 because of the Sulfur Vortex. I missed
Yeah.
that.
I mean, we're not that far away from the Fire Blast range. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we are a Bolt, a Curse Scroll activation, or something like that. We're pretty close to that where that's going to matter. Let's
Yeah.
see what's this.
Here's a deranged tournament, but yeah, if
Who cares?
Roland is able to steal this game, I think Aaron will be kicking himself.
Yeah, I think you should definitely gain that 4 life because I think you're like you said, you're winning on the ground anyway. You know what I mean? Like you're
His
absolutely winning
his
on the
board
ground.
presence is great. He has a Wall of Roots to block, like the
Yeah,
Ball Lightning, just to soak up some damage. He has a Spiritmonger to attack with, and he has a Treetop Village too. Um,
hmm these guys play furiously fast. I love it, but like it's hard to keep up with what's going on.
yeah.
Okay,
So
2 mana. Yep,
Roland's at
incinerate.
6 because he takes 2 from his own um, Sulfuric Vortex. If he's, I'm guessing this is going upstairs. I don't know what
Oh,
else.
absolutely.
So he's
Yep,
at
Fire
6.
Blast. There's 7.
So then he's at 2.
And he's at 2. There you
And
go.
then
He
he's passing the
snuck it
turn.
out.
So
Nice.
yeah.
You
So
absolutely. You nailed it, Mike. That was all about sacking that Baloth.
yeah.
Had to do it. When I play red deck, Sulfur Vortex is like one of the best cards you want to see in these matchups.
Yeah.
It's consistent source of damage, turning off the life gain, and it's just like it wins those games that you shouldn't win because you're usually ahead on life anyway.
Yeah, I'm gonna jump over to the decks, so we
hmm
can talk a little bit about sideboarding.
Yeah.
Find
Um,
my.
I think what we're looking at. So this is kind of a wish package a wish deck, wish rock that Aaron's got going on here. So that's why he's got the 4th copy of the Baloth and the boards. I mean, other than that, what's he really even think about bringing in? He's not going to bring an Edict. He's not going to bring in like
No, he's actually like pretty well set up against Sly as far as like
yeah,
post deck goes. Um, uh, I'm trying to think if there's a card like if he thinks like Ravenous Bailiff is too slow to like Living Wish and then play, he might bring the 4th one in.
Well, I don't hate that. You increase your odds of drawing it, right?
Yeah,
So if you have to wish for it, like that is slow.
I think that's the only card. I mean, you could make an argument. I've
I like
I don't,
I like that he has the festering goblins, by the way.
yeah,
That's a good.
that helps against Sly. I was gonna say most of the time when I look at that card, it just seems like it just doesn't do enough. But
hmm
the times where it's good, it really does stuff. Um, so yeah, I don't think Aaron does very much. I'm gonna bring up. the other deck. Um, so we have Sly here. The cards that look interesting, not a lot.
Not a
Um,
lot. No,
so there's two Price of Progress. That'd be the only card that'd be interesting. I'm gonna go back to um,
I
Humming
think
Down
you.
Basics. There's four Llanowarists and four Treetop Village. I I don't think I bring in Price of Progress.
That's all he has for non-basics. Wow.
Yeah, a lot of them usually have um, some number of City of Brass if they're playing Mishra's Factory, and those are
And Mixer's Factory.
like
Yeah.
+6 non-basics. But that might be a concession to uh, the red deck, and thinking that like, oh, I'm good enough against the other decks. I want to be a little bit better against Price of Progress.
Yeah, that's definitely a lot of swamp. That's definitely a lot of swamps and forests. But I guess that I mean he has Tuskers, to get the to get the basics. But it is interesting.
Yeah, that's
I
true.
think.
That I guess one thing that we didn't really talk about Era's deck is the presence of Corrosion Tusker.
Mhm.
It's not something that is very commonly played in the Rock, but it's kind of like a hedge between like what Yavimaya Elder does in terms of getting a basic land and drawing a
Yeah,
card, and then also is a juicy recurring nightmare target. So there's
very juicy. Yeah,
two recurring nightmares in this rock list, and if you're able to play a festering goblin, and then on turn three cycle Corrosion Tusker, and then turn four sack the recurring nightmare that you play and get a 6/5 into play and kill a 1/1 or something, or you get a lot of value and you can keep that chain going. And it's just a big body that comes with an easy setup for recurring nightmare. So it
yeah,
is
it's wonderful.
an interesting engine that Aaron has the access to.
Yeah, I agree. It is interesting. I mean, the recording nightmare is probably not, but that's probably too slow for this matchup, unless you can start getting the Ravenous Bayloss going. But
I
if
mean,
you well,
I wouldn't
one
take it
that
out. I mean, it's not like too slow, but it's not game plan number one.
no, definitely not. Game plan number one is turn one duress away something, and then turn two play a wall. Which is what we're seeing again.
All right, so we
Okay.
see a turn one. Wait. Oh yeah, I was gonna say how's Aaron playing a card first, but I was thinking that he
Yeah.
won that game, but he didn't.
Yeah. No.
So his choices are Incinerate, Curse Scroll, and Fire Blast, and his cards he can't take are, I think that's a Grim Lavamancer, Ball
Mhm.
Lightning, Mountain, and Barbarian Ring. So he
Yeah.
opts for the Fire Blast.
Yeah, it's probably the best card. You know what I mean? The other ones are kind of like middling. Now you don't have to worry about. You have to worry about one less of those. That seems fine.
Yeah, I think the only thing that the times that you wouldn't take a Fire Blast is if you have like a Cabal Therapy and you're like, I'm gonna name Fire Blast with this, and hopefully he draws a second one.
Yeah,
So,
because those are. It's the last card played
nope.
almost
Well,
always, right?
we knew that he drew a Mog Fanatic.
Yeah.
Um, Fanatic. So Aaron is playing with perfect information right now,
Yep.
though I don't know how much that changes anything. But
Probably not too much. The red deck's going to go at you. I guess you don't have. I mean, there's a ball lightning on turn three. So, Festering Goblin.
actually, I
Actually,
mean, the timing of
I
that
don't.
Festering Goblin is not
No, it's
ideally.
pretty. I think you almost like. I think whatever
Well,
Roland
especially
play.
because
I
you
think
know
he's
that
going
he
to.
has a Grim Lavamancer in his hand. I think I would wait to play it because now Roland
Yeah,
can attack.
just
Aaron
attack,
is either
get it
forced to
one, and then
block, and
ping.
I think you have to block here, because
Yeah,
if you don't, he's going to sack the Mog Fanatic and then play the Grim
yeah.
Lavamancer.
That was a free one damage that Roland just got. You know.
Well, let's see. I mean, he might make a different play. He could play. Yeah. Okay. So he's
Yeah,
using
he's
the Fanatic to get
goblins.
rid of the Festering Goblin. So this clears the way for Grim
Um,
Lavamancer.
yep. And then he still has what, an Incinerate and a Curse Scroll. There we go.
A Curse Scroll, yeah.
We don't know if he has another land yet, but he does have a ball lightning in his hand, right?
He doesn't have a land. He would play a mountain or a fetch land over a Barbarian Ring.
Oh, for sure. That's a good
So
point. But he still
so
has the ball lightning, so that is still something he has to worry about. Oh, deed.
all right.
I mean, if this ball lightning comes down, that's that deed's too slow. But this deed's still going to get good use, I think.
Yeah, I mean it's not too slow because then like Curse Scroll didn't deal any damage and Grim Lavamancer is not going to be able to activate, so it's only going to be dealing one damage. So I
Mm-hmm.
mean it's as far as deeds go, I think it's pretty good.
Well, I guess that's a good. Yeah, he probably just passed the turn.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so missing land drops for Roland has kind of been the story of this match so far that he's not able to do that much. So he's looking to use the Grim Lavamancer as compared to casting Incinerate because
You just get
um,
value out of it.
uh, well, I mean, because we know he has an Incinerate in hand, so he doesn't want
Hmm.
to cast the Incinerate this turn. He wants to use Grimogmancer, which is a little bit
Right.
awkward with Barbarian Ring because he might not get the threshold done.
Right.
But here we see the big bad Ravenous Baloth come down for the Rock deck, which
Hmm.
is just pretty much the card that the red deck does not want to see. It's a
Yeah.
clock when it needs to be, and um, in a pinch, it can gain 4 life, which really just makes a difference a ton of
It's
the
a
time.
clock, a wall, and a life gain all in one.
So I'm looks like 2 damage going upstairs. Oop, I marked down Roland. So I have uh, Aaron at 17 and Roland at 19.
I think he took a pain for that Bailoff as
Oh,
well
that makes sense.
from
But
the Llanowar waste.
something you're not too sad to do.
No, I got a 20 to 16 right now.
19.
Sorry, not
Roland has
19,
tapped
19
it.
to 16.
Yeah,
Yeah, because of the barbarian ring. Yeah.
yeah.
All right. What do we got here? Oh, yeah.
Here's a Wall
Oops.
of Roots. And in for 4 comes the Baloth. And yep, Roland
Sure.
says, I will happily. He's
You're
like,
gonna
this
gi-
is going to die anyways. I will
you're gonna give
happily
this to
soak
me?
up.
Sure, why not?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It doesn't have any
Thanks.
cards to exile. Also, like, the Incinerate might go at the Baloth now. It's has the damage was dealt. So I
Yeah,
mean
I mean, way to kill it. Why
that might
not?
be a mistake from Aaron that he didn't do it pre-combat to
I
deny
mean,
this line.
you hate sending burn at creatures, but at the same time, like, and then they'll gain four. Ooh.
That's
Um. This
that,
is trouble.
that's a good way to keep the life gain going.
This is not good. Recurring Nightmare is just gonna, like, now he can just sack it, put it in the yard, sack the Wall of Roots to the Recurring Nightmare, bounce that back, bring the Bailoff back in. Oh God, yeah, this is good. This is, yeah. Roland, I know, is a average vintage player, so some of these cards he probably hasn't seen in quite a while. So, like,
Yeah.
the last time he's played against, like, on Recurring Nightmare was probably in like 2000. You know what I mean?
I'm trying to think. I don't think I can ever remember any vintage decks playing Recurring Nightmares. So
No. Yeah, this is going to be the engine that probably just puts it over the top. Especially with Bailoff, he can just, for pretty much every turn, just gain 4 life. Like, that's just going to be too much. He
yeah,
needs and he's already got the deed in play. Like, where's this going? It
looks
doesn't
like
really matter.
looks like upstairs.
Yeah,
I think I would target at the Baloth, but I don't know.
just to force his hand.
Well, I mean,
Man,
I don't know
why
because
isn't Aaron using it?
um, I guess
To
he might want to be saving his mana. I don't know that like maybe he wants the fifth mana for something.
get more activations out of your Recurring Nightmare. I mean, he could have gained, again.
I
He
mean,
could have sacked the
he can
Bailoff,
do it
gained
next turn. I
4.
guess the only thing that's awkward is if a Sulfur Vortex comes out, but he still has the deed to get rid of that if that's the case.
Yeah,
He can
I
stack
mean,
it in
he's
response and
definitely in
then
a
pull
good
up the
spot.
deed. Yeah, so
Oh, you got a sloppy dice, sloppy shuffle from Mr. Chang. Get that wooded foothills there. Um, oh, that was over there. Okay, that makes sense. All right. Okay, so he's at 13 then.
here comes a ball lightning.
Yep,
He takes the damage to cast
it
that.
takes it. But okay, so he's at 7 all of a sudden. I mean, obviously he's not gonna die. And I guess he could do that now.
Oh no, he can't. It's a sorcery. It's you can
Yeah,
only
you
do a
have to for the
sorcery.
sorcery. That's right. I don't think they know that. We should probably jump in there. Hold on a second.
Why is he adjusting life totals again?
Recurring Nightmare is a sorcery speed.
I guess they're looking it up again.
Yeah, there we go.
I guess that would explain why Aaron didn't use it on his turn.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So he kind of punted there. Yep. I mean, his wall's still in.
I mean, I don't think it's a punt. It's just, and
Well, I mean,
I don't think it'll really actually even change that much, but because he can just use it, he can just use it on his next turn. I guess he might
Yeah,
miss out on 4 points of damage. No, he can attack first. It doesn't really change anything.
he should still have the wall of roots in then.
Yes, with a 1 counter.
Should still be in.
All right, so attack comes in, 4 damage to the slide deck. Now it's 13. Slides at 13, and the rock's at 7.
Mhm.
Oh, he blocked with the wall?
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Okay, so
So
then
it had 4
he's actually
toughness, so
11.
okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, chat. That makes sense. Well, it was. I guess he backed up and he said, "Oh, instead of using the
Yeah. Block
recurring
with
nightmare,
it.
I'll
It's
block."
so
But I
fast.
never saw it like come back into the battlefield, so I guess that's what my confusion was. But I guess that makes sense.
Hmm.
Okay, so it looked like Roland just drew, played a land, and passed.
Yeah. I don't think he
So
has.
the last turn,
Well, he should have used this. I
Aaron
mean,
is
he must
just
have more cards in his hand.
he's not trying to loop. Um,
Balos for some reason.
I yeah, I guess I feel like I would be doing that.
I'd be looping the hell out of Balos. You can basically get 4 life and untap
Well,
it every
especially if
single
he's
time
not using his
and attack.
mana. I mean, like if he's just, I would put a counter on that wall of roots to gain 4,
Yeah.
and I guess it puts recurring nightmare. Yeah, no, I guess you take a damage if you're casting a black spell there. Well, no, because he could have tapped his mana differently.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Prize of Progress is dealing 2 damage to each player.
For each bound basic,
Yeah.
it's going to deal
Oh, it's
4
4.
to
Oh, 4. Okay,
4
no,
to
I put
Aaron and 2 to
Vulnerable.
Roland.
Okay, so it's 7 to 7 is what I have the life totals at.
Yeah, that's what I got too.
But yeah, this is. I mean, there's just so many opportunities where he hasn't used the Baloth with the recurring nightmare.
You should be doing it every single turn. I mean,
I
this is at least
I
8
think
life
so.
he's missed out on.
It just seems like the way you lose because it's like there might be spots where he might activate it to gain 4 life, and then in response, Roland deals 7 damage to him. Like if he has,
When you're this low, yeah. When you're at 13, though, if you can start doing that, you're not worried about dying in response. At 7, you can start worrying about dying in response, right?
yeah.
It's
I
like
mean,
he's
it's
a
two
bolt of
cards.
fire
It's
blast away.
fire blast and bolt. Yeah, a fire
Actually,
blast and
he is right
incinerate.
now. He's literally 1 lightning bolt. No, he's a fire blast away right now. Where if he's at 7 and does that in response, he can activate Curse Scroll, show the fire blast, use the Oh no, he needs 1 more mana for the barbarian ring.
I mean,
But
he had to
if
get a
hit
little
critical,
lucky if he had like he'd have to hit with the fire blast if he had multiple cards in his hand to hit with the curse scroll. But
yeah, yeah, I would just. You're right. You do this all in response, and I've played the red deck, and I've won games like that when you could be response to the life gain. Okay, that's a blocker and 1 damage. Fine.
okay, so Roland says, "Go ahead," and
Oh,
end of
take it.
turn he's gonna deed for 1.
Okay.
1 damage is gonna go to. So he's Aaron's at 6.
Yeah. I wonder if he's
And
gonna activate the
so
curse
here
scroll
it's
now.
like, so there's so many things like 2 3 damage burn spells or fire blast.
The
Just
curse scroll should be gone too, guys.
oh yeah, and just fire blast is a lethal because of the barbarian ring.
Yeah. Yeah. Now it definitely is.
See now it looks like he's activating. Is Roland going to be able to do something in response?
You should.
3 mana tapped. He's going to take
3
the
mana,
damage.
2 to
Oh,
you.
he's going to curse scroll and no, the curse scroll is gone.
God damn it, guys! Come on. Curse scrolls destroy, guys. There we go. Okay, they figured that out.
No, I think they're thinking that it dealt 2 damage because he tapped his mana. He should not have tapped his.
Yeah, they realized the mistake now, I think.
All right, so um, I think Roland's still at 3 because he didn't tap his barbarian ring then.
Right.
So did the gain 4 resolve? I don't know what's going on. It's hard when.
Okay. We're moving on to game 3, I'm pretty sure.
I mean, a little awkward. I
That was
mean, I don't,
confusing.
especially when they don't have like a life counter that we can back up and figure out
I
things.
know.
But
We're doing the best we can. We're doing the best we can. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I definitely think Aaron missed out on like at least 12 life there. You know, he had the number of walls they had. Literally, attack with the Baloth, sack it, gain 4, put it in the yard, sack a
Yeah.
wall, bring the Baloth back in. It's untapped and a 4/4. Great. Next turn, play the recurring nightmare. Like you bounce the recurring nightmare again. He drew another wall. You had 4 mana, 5 mana at that time. You
Yeah.
get float one, sack it. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot he could have been doing and gaining at least 4, 8, 12 life, and this wasn't even an issue. You know?
Yeah. He gave Roland opportunities to win that game. They
Yeah.
are. Yeah, they're shuffling. Okay. I just
Yeah. If
Aaron's
that
cards are still on the table, so I'm like,
Well, just like you said though, like if he was a fire blast away, if that pup was a fire blast, this is a different game, right? Because
yeah,
he shoots he if he had the fanatic, right, and then all of a sudden he fanatics him down to 6, he activates the cursed scroll in response to the deed. He could do this all basically in response. Well, I
or
guess
into
he
the
wouldn't
Bailoff
attack.
trigger. Yeah.
Yeah, it's in response to the bailout ticker. Like then he's a barbarian ring for 2, and then the fire blast for the last 4,
Yep.
and then that was it.
Are they? Aaron just he doesn't seem to be shuffling. What is going on?
Maybe he's going to the bathroom.
Okay.
He's allowed to do that.
You're not gonna. Oh,
Oh, did we lose him?
apparently.
What happened?
We'll just switch to the screen so it looks a little bit better. Oh, they're both gone. So did that? Wait. So the game just finished? Did they? What happened? Did Roland win?
Did Roland win? We just missed it?
Well, I didn't see a fire blast. What happened?
Did we just have the life totals completely wrong? That was weird.
Can wait.
Can
Can you
the chat help us?
Can you
What's the chat?
clarify?
Hold on, I'll be right back.
No,
Wait,
Aaron did not win game one, right?
No.
Oh, all right.
What happened there?
What is going on?
But I actually didn't realize I was. So I killed him at in response to his game life trigger.
With what? What I had maybe I had the life totals up. What was he at? I had him at 6 when he was trying to gain.
So he was at 2, trying to gain 4 more with Ravenous Baloth.
He was at 2.
And that's what he used. Okay.
And then because I had a barbarian ring at threshold, I used the ring instead. I didn't realize that his deed already killed off my
fanatic. Yeah, we noticed that. We knew you guys corrected that, but
yeah,
we didn't realize it at 2.
Okay.
Yeah, because he was down to 3 after I think it was like there was 4 damage from the Price of Progress, and then
after you attacked with that ball lightning, what did you have him at? Because did he block with the Wall of Roots?
He blocked with the Wall of Roots. 2 of it went over, and since he couldn't respond at instant speed,
right?
He let 2 over, so it brought him down to 10. Which I incinerated at the end of turn and also Price of Progress.
Oh,
so
I must have missed one of the cards because I had the life totals. I had him when I had him sacking the Bailoff. I had him at 6, so I was way off, I guess.
Oh, okay.
Because we were very confused. We thought that things were shuffling up for the next game, and then we just didn't see Aaron shuffling, and we were confused.
Yeah, sorry about that, guys. Yeah, we had a little miscommunication with the deed. I forgot to wipe it out of the board.
Okay.
Okay. Well.
All right. Well, congratulations, I guess.
Thanks.
I don't know if the other.
Yeah, I just mentioned Svanta. He should be on his way in. But yeah. So you got so it'll be you and Svanta in the finals. I'll give you a few minutes to take a look at his deck list for whatever.
Yeah, I'm gonna quick set up Svanta's deck list so I can get an image. So I'm gonna just go on break. I'm gonna leave the stream on. I'm gonna mute our mics while I get things ready. So.
I'll hang out here with them.
Okay.
Yeah. Do what you do. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's do that this time.
Okay. All right. Hey everyone, we're back. Let me update. Do some intros, Jared. I will update the text names.
Yeah, we have the finals now of the Premodern Midsummer Revel. We got Roland Trang, the 4 seed, against the number 3 seed, Svante Landgraf. And Roland, again, is going to be on the red deck Sly. And Svante will be on blue-black Stifle Knot, a deck that I've played a few times and it's good success with as well. We're resolving mulligans right now. It looks like Svante, I think, is down to 5. And Svante, as being the higher seed, will be on the play. Also, this will be a best of 5, so the first 2 will be unsideboarded. So we should be in for a good match. A quick match, I would have to imagine, given the matchup.
Yeah, I
And
mean, I would like to think that Blueback Stifle Knot is advantage just because there aren't that many ways for Roland to interact with either the casting or the resolution of a 12-12.
nope.
So
Oh,
I mean, most of the time when you say like, oh, Svante mulligan to 5, that's going to be a problem. But his deck is really good at mulliganing, especially when he knows that like his resolved Dreadnought is going to stay.
Absolutely. All right, now we got a fetch down to 19 for Roland.
Okay.
But yeah, Svante has the island and the pedal on turn 1 and doesn't have the combo, it looks like. But I'm guessing this is showing that he's got a Limb Duel's Vault in hand. And he's going to go find whatever piece he's looking for.
That would make sense. Okay, I was going to say, like, because usually it's kind of like...
If you got those two things and you kept this... I mean, he is down to 5, so he's doing what he can. But, you know, at the same time, I'm guessing this is going to be an end-of-turn LDV. Yep.
All right.
And he's going to... I'm sure he has one of the combo pieces, and he's just looking for the next one. And so that I assume he has a second land. So I bet you this is going to be a Dreadnought on turn 2, which is one of the most scary things you can put down. Oh, now we're going to toss 1.
All right, yeah, keep track of how many times he pays life. So I'll bring up this card because this is not the most played card, but it's definitely like real powerful.
It's basically what we have for a Vampiric Tutor in this format. Looks like he kept the second one, so that's good. So he only took the 1 life, because sometimes you can go 4 or 5 on that one, on the Limb Duel's Vault, paying life to try to find the card you're looking for. And against red deck, you don't want to give them that any more free damage than they already have, right?
Yeah, so, there's some times where life total is less of a resource with the Stifle Knot deck, and sometimes you might be like, I want this one card, but I would also like to have this other card too, and you might be like, oh, I'm going to put this and like keep going to try and get 2 cards in a combination of the top 5, so you can play like in a certain number of turns for it to go the way you want to. So the Stifle Knot got Vision Charmed, so that is going to
phased it out, which is one of the strangest little rules in all Magic. But so that'll come back into. So it's not out of play, but it's not in play, but it's also can't be targeted and can't be interacted with at all. It is in its own little phasing zone, which is just kind of there.
Treat it as though it didn't exist, I think is...
As it doesn't exist, exactly. So that'll come back to play actually on the untap, which is so interesting. So it comes into play on the untap step. So it gets to untap if it was tapped, which does happen every once in a while. But let's see. So still on turn 2 for Roland. I'm not sure. Like I'm not sure what he could do
they have not been
against this.
Roland's at 18, right? He's fetched.
Yeah, both players are on 18.
Okay, I missed 1 damage from Svante.
Svante took the Limb Duels and then the attack from the Mog Fanatic, and Roland's fetched twice. So okay. This is gonna be too. Yeah, it's too. The Lavamancer, as pretty as that one is.
Do you think Roland might be able to deal 12 damage to a Phyrexian Dreadnought?
No. I mean, the best way for him to do that would be with a ball lightning, but I mean, Svante's not gonna block.
There's a shock, so.
Yeah, shock. Okay, he's on a 16, but now Roland's on a 6. You know,
you could tell Roland's an old school player that he has the life total on the paper, and then also the digital one. He hasn't done anything to the
digital. He hasn't touched it at all. And he told us, he was like, "Hey, I got this for you guys." It's like, okay, thanks, buddy.
Yeah, because we were having trouble keeping up with the life totals. We kind of were behind on the last one and kind of misjudged the state of the game because of it. So a ball lightning. Okay, so he's attacking for 7.
8 total.
Oh, 8, yeah. And so
I mean, this is 8. Okay.
It's not enough. I mean, Mog Fanatic could deal 1, and then there could be a Fire Blast.
Fire Blast, it puts him at 3, yeah.
Did Svante remember to attack? Is that?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that they remembered to attack. Svante doesn't miss an attack step if I know him at all.
We got it wrong last time, so I just wanted to make sure. Because I think Svante was the first one to scoop up his card, so...
yeah.
All right, let me jump over the deck list screen. I have to bring up... I have to adjust Svante's deck. So we still have Roland's deck list up. Do you want to talk about sideboard for the
well, we're not sideboarding yet. We're not sideboarding quite yet.
Oh, not sideboarding. Oh, okay. Good point. Well,
but Roland will be on the play now, and the way the red deck wins this matchup is they need Pup and Burn and Ball Lightning on turn 3, then Fire Blast. Like this is a complete race now, and I wouldn't even say the red deck's even favored on the play.
No.
Still, but it has a better chance.
Well, especially the pre-boarded games, Svante could mulligan down to 4, and if it's land, stifle or vision charm, lotus petal, and dreadnought,
he'll win.
He wins. I think he
90,
might.
90.
I don't think. Oh, I can. I'm trying to think if Sly can win on turn 3. Like if it could goldfish, if its best draw could deal 20 points of damage, and
its
I don't
best
know
draw could deal
on turn 3.
I mean, it'd be pup. You'd have to have
pup,
land. Yeah, pup.
No,
pup.
No,
or pup,
I think a bolt, pup, bolt.
That's 8.
Bolt.
And 5 cards.
And he doesn't have flame rift, so.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe there's a he can deal with the perfect hand, but although.
So in 9 cards, he needs 3 mountains, one pup, 2 bolts, a ball lightning, and a fire blast, and that would deal 1, 2, 3, 4. That'd be 10, ball lightning 6, and then the fire blast would be 4. That'd be 20. He needs to have in his first 8, 9 cards.
So it looks like Roland is mulliganing, and if Svante's keeping 7, then
he's got to turn 2 dreadnought.
He's got to be way favored, or he is making a poor mulligan choice, but I don't think that's the case given where he's at today. So.
No, definitely not. Now, Svante's the one who kind of taught me how to play the Dreadnought deck, and he literally told me, he was like, when you mulligan with this deck, you're literally looking for the combo. If you don't have an opening 7, 6, or 5 that does not have or ability to get the combo, then ship it back. You're not gonna outgrind somebody. You're not gonna control somebody.
The only time I would disagree with that is if you know that the deck has ways to interact with a resolved dreadnought for cheap. Mm-hmm. I would be less inclined to put a bunch of my eggs in a basket for them to swords it or maybe disenchant or something. So, right. but he knows in this matchup that that's not the case. So, all right. The digital life counter has changed. So maybe.
Woohoo! And here we go.
Even Svante does have counter magic that is free, like dazes and foils to prevent things from going wrong. So even if Roland had a perfect turn 3 kill, Svante might have a piece of interaction. So very quick to stifle a dreadnought, and Roland might just even pick him up at this point.
There's nothing he can do.
He's gonna try.
Not with a turn 1 curse scroll. I mean, even worse would have been a pup. Like that's not even a good blocker. You can attack it with a pup on turn 1 with gets my dreadnought. No way.
That deals you. Oh, I guess it deals. I was gonna say I thought it might deal the double damage in terms of, but it tramples over. I was gonna say if it deals just 24 damage to you or something.
Well, because you can only assign 1 damage to it, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
Because that's how the trample works.
Yeah.
But if it was without trample, it'd still deal 12, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Because you have to assign lethal, and then the rest goes there. Okay.
I mean, you could still deal 12 damage to the Jackal Pup, and then if that's how you want to deal your damage. So a shock is going to deal 2. It's nothing compared to the 12 that the Dreadnought is going to deal.
Yeah, the Dreadnought deck is just very strong. Okay, 6. Yeah, what are you gonna do? Okay, the sideboard
came to play. He came to play. He's like, all right, I came to attack with ball lightnings. That's what I'm gonna do. So.
Yep.
But then he said I had enough. That Dreadnought has attacked me enough times, so I'm not gonna let it do it again.
Okay, now we get the sideboards, and we got some things that can change around. Hopefully. Right. So I mean, obviously the 2 Pyroblasts and the 2 Revs are coming in a heartbeat. And he's got 3 overloads on the sideboard. So actually, Roland's got some good stuff for this matchup. He's bringing in 7 cards for sure.
What are you taking out though? Shock seems bad.
Curse Scroll seems awful.
Okay. So on that point, if you're bringing in a bunch of reactive cards to try and destroy a Dreadnought, do you not expect the games to go longer, or do you just think that because those cards are going to be in your hand, that Curse Scroll is not going to be good? Because I mean. I
can see either. I mean, I just think it's too slow. Whereas something like the Vortex, is a little bit more. You don't have to invest any more mana into it once it's down. I think you might keep those in, even though that seems a little weird. But I mean, you definitely, you got to find a way to trim something. You know what I mean?
Thank you for the
And
follow. German legacy hype. I'm
yeah.
assuming that Jur is for German, but maybe I'm wrong.
What else do you? I mean, shocks are probably technically the worst card in the deck.
Yeah,
So
I mean they do something in terms of there are a couple mesmeric fiends. I don't those might come out. They're not very good. So
right.
shock isn't great. I mean maybe you're right with the curse scrolls, but I just sometimes I guess I wouldn't completely dismiss it because of the fact that the games might go longer. You might be able to get 2, 3, 4 activations out of a curse scroll because if Svanta goes, I'm going to play all these cards to put a dreadnought into play, and you have an overload and able to kill that 12/12, you're going to have time, and curse scroll might be good in that situation.
But it takes a lot of mana to do it. But I do see what you're saying.
Yeah, but
But
a lot of
like,
the cards are just like instant speed. But I guess when you bring in reactive cards, those that makes Curse Scroll a lot worse because if you're holding a red elemental blast in your hand, you're not able to deploy it and kind of shape your hand to make the Curse Scroll good. So I got that is probably the card I would take out with Shock.
mm-hmm.
So if that is 6 cards coming out, um, 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's 7 cards he wants to bring in.
Yeah. And then you can
You
cut something. I mean, then you
Chat's
just
saying that
have
they
to.
would want to take out 3 Vortex. I don't. I think I would want to take in Vortex because like it's not like Svanta ever deals like chips
But
away damage that Vortex can really punish you. It's always going to be in chunks of 12. That Vortex
but
seems
here,
like a good card.
here's the thing with Vortex. Sfanta's bringing in 4 chills. So that how likely is that Vortex to resolve? Which is probably what's going to make the Curse Scroll more likely to come in because because it gets around chill and I guess it's a little cheaper.
Yeah.
And yeah, I see the argument both ways. I mean, Svanta's bringing in 4 chills. I mean, there's not much. I mean, it takes out the fiends probably because those aren't going to stick around at all.
Yeah.
Maybe it slows them down a little bit, but that's not really doing much. He brings out 2 fiends and then maybe a boomerang and
So it seems like
an
Chad is
impulse.
not as excited about Vortex as maybe I am. Someone was asking about what Lava Dart's for. It is good against like elves or any decks with like some Birds of Paradise or Full English Graphics. It's okay. It's actually I think one of the best cards against the mirror, because
Yes,
it gets rid of Jackal Pup, Lava Mancer, and a Ball Lightning, and you can tap out if you've cast it before. That they can't ever cast their Ball Lightnings without if you're just
it's
because
completely for. I would say almost entirely for the mirror. It's great for the mirror.
yeah, and so I just pulled up Svanta's sideboard. It looks like they're getting ready. I think they're resolving mulligans right now.
Yep.
4 chill obviously are coming in.
Yeah.
Are
I
there
think it's
other
fun. I
cards
think
that
it's
you're
interesting.
interested in?
I think it's interesting that he has the 4 chill on the board. It almost seems overkill because it's such a good matchup, but it really just locks down this matchup. But then again, 2 of the top tier 1 decks are goblins and red decks, so you're going to see plenty of red decks as we did today.
Yeah,
There's
I
a
mean,
lot of
I
red
like
decks.
chill a lot less against goblins than I do against Sly.
I
I don't know.
agree
I guess well,
completely.
only because there's certain situations where they can go like turn 1 lackey, and then if you have chill, you're like the lackey just doesn't. I mean, just negates the chill completely. So
Also, the goblins deck usually plays more lands, plays prospector, could play some ancient tombs, could
I
play
mean, the curve is a lot
war
higher
chief.
too for a goblins deck. So I mean, yeah. So someone saying this red deck has 7 cyber cards against him. Um, oh, red deck. Yeah, yeah. I don't know in terms of if like counter magic is worse than reactive cards like a smother. I don't know. Probably not because there's just too many burn spells. But it'll
No.
be interesting to see what cards, if we can kind of deduce how they boarded from what we see, excuse me, and what we don't see. So I'll go back
Yeah,
as
looks
they
like
Roland, I think Mulligan once.
yeah, I think he's down to 6. I think Svanta might be down to 6 too, but I could be wrong.
Let's bring up.
No, he's going down again. I think he's going down to 5 now.
Okay. I mean, like I said, in terms of this deck mulligans really well, but then also it almost is easier to mulligan in the sideboarded games because of those 4 chills. Like if you don't have like a turn 1 stifle knot or a way to protect it or something, and or don't have a chill, then it's like it's pretty easy to throw a hand back because those cards just are worth so much.
Yep.
So do you think Roland will be able to sneak out a game, or do you think Swanta's going to take this 3-0?
I think if he sneaks out a game, it's going to be this one because he's up a card, right? And then also, but I don't see how Roland beats Svanta twice on the draw.
Sure.
It seems so unlikely. All right. He might almost hold this up just to show that he has a Rev or something like.
That is interesting. I have had this situation where I was a slide deck. I did have the Pyroblast, and I was playing against a Stifle Nut deck, and I think it was my turn 2, and I decided to play. I think I had Pup and then Pup Lavamancer. So I said, okay, my shields are down, and he I think played like a turn 1 Stifle Nut. So it's kind of interesting. Is like, do you always just hold up a red mana just to make it so that they have to respect the stifle or have to respect the red elemental blast, and it's kind of an interesting game that the red deck can play.
Yeah. All right. So we got a portent here from Svanta on his turn 1. So I think this is gonna be a little slower from him.
So what do you think about? Have you ever cast a portent on your opponent in a webcam game?
No, I have not, but it sounds like a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
You gotta like close your eyes, hold the cards up, be like, what? Yeah. Okay, 1, 2, 3.
I guess my 2 options, I say I can either close my eyes and just put them up face up on the table, or I can just try and like hold them up to my camera so that I can't see them. It's like this is my, and you're, but then you also kind of just say like I'm looking away, so you might as well just say I'm going to put them face down on the table, or and then yeah, it's
not pretty.
Use it on yourselves. That's what it's meant for. So
yeah, we're doing the best we can. So I think portent actually is it's not quite ponder. You know what I mean? Getting the card the next turn does matter, especially because a lot of times you're looking for like a land or something like that. So you kind of wanted to play it, or you want the combo piece, right? So, but sometimes it's actually a good way to like kind of hide. I like to kind of like when I look at the top 3, be like, oh, I want that combo piece next. So if I know it's going to be Duress or Cabal Therapy, I put it the second down so that I have it on my turn, which is just a kind of little difference.
I really like it in this deck in terms of there's just so many times where you can set up like a portent and then have a fetch land. You're like, I'm going to draw 2 of the cards that I want, and that last one that I don't really want is going to get shuffled away. Or you could have a Limdol's Vault, or just, and the power differential between the cards that Swanta has in his deck is like the cards that you really want them, and then the cards that are kind of reactive, you can draw them later. And I really like the portent.
Yeah, so I played 2 portents in my Stifle Knot deck today, and I played the 3-color one with the white, and I played 2 portents in the 4 peaks because I had the meddling mages. But I think I'm switching that around. I think I'm gonna go 4 portents, 2 peaks, just because of how good the portents were.
Yeah, the couple times that I've played with peak, a lot of times I'm still naming cards that aren't even in their hand, so it's kind of like, what does this peak do? So I think Roland has not updated life totals. I think there's been 2 attacks with the Jackal Pup.
Yeah, that's fine. Content 16, that's for
sure. 15, I think he's fetched. He used a
fetched, yeah.
And so he cast an Impulse, and I didn't see how long it took him to figure out a card, but that might be, sometimes you say like, you can maybe deduce what they're grabbing if they do it really quickly. Lightning Bolt is something that Roland's casting at end of
his turn. I guess with the impulse on the stack was my guess.
No, we must be on his turn 4 because he attacked with Pup again because the 2 mana was tapped from. I don't know. Can you message Roland to update the life total on his digital?
I got I can do that in a second. But yeah, we're on Svanta's turn 3, so I think that was during he bolted during his turn.
Okay, so there's chill is coming down. I think it's 10 to 19, but I maybe got ambitious with the Jackal Pup.
I got 12 because I think it's only hit 3 times. He's played 3 lands, which is interesting. That Roland hasn't had more plays.
Yeah, but it's 3 times is 6, and a lightning bolt is 3. That's 9, and a fetch land is 10.
No, it's only attacked twice.
He had 3 mana up last turn. This is it was Roland's 4th turn.
It's Roland's 4th turn.
I'm
there's
pretty
the
sure.
Dreadnought. There's the Petal. There's the Stifle.
All right. Well,
that's okay. Well, good games.
I mean, there's Overload. I mean,
there's Overload.
He could have a Mountain and Overload.
Because if he had a Rev, Pyroblast or a Rev, he would have done that to the chill, right?
Yes. He would have cast it.
This is Overload or GG's.
Yeah,
Oh, it's definitely all 3, so this looks good. There it is. Okay.
All
right, we got
wait,
a game, friend.
They cost 3 more, right? Or is it
2 more.
2? Oh, 2 more.
2 more
Okay.
with Jill.
All right. Okay. I was thinking that he needed a
No,
fourth line.
three more is like Gloom or one of those.
All right. So I have a mid 8. I mean, did you message them?
Okay.
Yeah. So because I think the Jackal Pups attacked 4 times, so that's 8. A bolt was 11, and a fetch land was 12. Oh no, the wrong way. All right.
Yeah,
Nope.
10. Yeah,
All right. I guess I
a little bit.
maybe the timing of the impulse was
Yeah,
different
the
than I
timing
thought
was
it
really
was.
close, especially with the counterspell was kind
I
of
guess
curious.
maybe he bolted. Okay, I guess it was the end of Roland's turn that Svante was casting Impulse, and
Impulse,
in
and then he
response he
bolted them.
bolted. All right, okay.
Yeah.
So I was thinking a whole nother turn had passed, but all right. So sorry about that.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he's got the puppin. He's doing the damage.
Yeah,
I mean,
the doggy's doing the good fight.
Doggy's doing the good fight.
And
I
mean, Svante only has 2 cards in hand, so.
Mm-hmm.
And Roland has 4 lands, which is actually with the chill in play is kind of what you need. I don't think you need many more. Maybe you need one more if you want to cast Ball Lightning, but
Right.
This is kind of the situation that Roland needs to win. And
Yeah.
just an Underground River comes down for Svante, and nothing else. And just kind of from his demeanor, it doesn't seem like he has anything going on.
No. All right, so Roland's on 18 now. Yeah, my guess is that, Svante's kind of playing off the top right now. He's looking for, probably the second combo piece, a gush or something like that to get cards back in hand.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of cards he could, because he could have counter magic in his hand. That would also be things that he's holding. Nope, I guess he doesn't. He's just letting that Incinerate resolve. I don't think he has anything. So he might have like a Vision Charm or a Stifle or a Dreadnought is what I would put his hand on, because I think most of the other cards he would play.
But this is why that you need to play the overloads in this red deck. It's such a good way to deal with Dreadnought. It's so efficient.
Yeah, it is.
It's such a bad matchup for you. Otherwise.
Yeah, but the thing is it doesn't come in against that many other decks. So it's like it is the card you need against this deck, but it doesn't come in. I mean, you'd bring it in against Mud, and I think that's probably the only other deck I think I would bring it in.
Do you bring it in the mirror for Cursed Scroll? Probably not. You don't bring it in against like Mishra's Factories, do you? Against factory decks.
All right. Roland has Svante at 5. I have him at 1. Maybe I'm wrong. All right. Okay. He's definitely not at 5 because Svante just scooped to a Fire Blast. So.
He was at 5 before that. But yeah, there we go. There's the Fire Blast. And you had to pay the 2. Okay. But now, like I said, can Roland win 2 games on the draw?
I don't know. I think the more important card is Overload as compared to the Pyroblast, because I think a lot of the times Svante is scared just to go turn 1 Stifle or Phyrexian Dreadnought because of the Overload in the sideboarded games, and I think the Overload is more important than the Blue Blast card or the Rebs. Yeah.
But at the same time, Svante has ways to protect it with Daze and Foil and stuff. So I'm pretty sure the Dazes are coming back in. I know Svante, and I both like to have the Dazes more on the play than the draw, just because that's pretty standard. But so now he's got ways to protect his Dreadnought. If he just throws out a turn 1 and feel pretty confident in it with the Daze.
Yeah. Well, even there's lots of scenarios where you might have the ability to cast a turn 1 Dreadnought, but you have a Blue Blast or I guess there aren't that many other counter spells that would cost like 1 mana, but you could delay it 1 turn to have a little bit more protections against like an Overload.
So this Dreadnought deck is one of those that oh my god, would it be crazy if it had like Force of Will? You know what I mean? Like if it could protect, like it'd be insane. So to play I guess other decks would have Force of Will against it. I agree, I know, but at the same time, like it plays plenty of blue spells. It plays, it can play that, and then on top of that, it would just it had now instead of Force of Will, it has to play a card like Foil, which you 3 for 1 yourself. But like most of the time, you're happy to do that if it protects your Dreadnought. That's going to win the game.
This is a really good foil deck, like with the Gushes and and that situation you just talked about, was like you have that one card you want to protect the queen kind of thing.
Yep.
It's really good. The times I played this deck, this deck just feels like a legacy deck more than a lot of the pre-modern decks that I've played.
Totally agree. Yeah, it definitely feels like.
It seems like his video's frozen.
Oh, it's still good on mine. They're both mulligan to 6. It looks like.
Yes, I'm gonna quick refresh because his video's not updating for me. So we'll see how this goes.
It's still going strong on my end. So.
All right. So move those around. All right. It looks like I gotta beat them. Okay. That looks better. So sorry about that. So is that you say Fanta mulliganed?
I think they both mulligan to 6.
Okay. Do you think that gives more an advantage to one player over the other?
Well, I think Svanta's just looking for his combo, and I think the red deck does not want to mulligan at all because every card is potentially it's the 3 damage it needs to do or whatever it is.
I mean, I'm happy to mulligan like hands that are more burn spells and don't have any like Jackal Pups.
Yeah.
I'm pretty happy to mulligan those because the value of having a Jackal Pup on turn 1 is a lot better than having an extra card most of the time because it's going to deal 4 to 6 damage in this matchup.
Roland also definitely mulligans any card, any deck that or any hand that has more than 2 lands for the most, especially now. Especially now with it looks like he's down to 5 too. So like, yeah, you got to like Svanta's chances as long as he has, something in this next mulligan. Because again, the London mulligan is definitely going to benefit the combo deck here.
Yeah. I guess the only worry is if you put those resources in and Roland has the 1 card to answer it, then like let's say if you use 2 cards and that's 60% of your hand, and Roland uses 1 card and that's 15% of your hand or whatever, like a smaller portion, then Roland's won on that exchange, and then Roland would be ahead. And the way that Svanta's deck is set up, like it's a lot harder to set up the 2 card combo again while being pressured. So, yeah. But I do agree. I think Svanta is advantaged if both players are mulliganing.
He's going to the tank on this mulligan decision.
Yeah, because I think a lot of the times when Svanta is mulliganing, it's more of it's not I had all spells or all lands. It's this hand could be better. Like this hand is okay, but I think the average 7 card hand can give me a better card hand even if I have to put 1 or 2 cards back.
Well, yeah, because he looks at those hands and they see like, if you see like Portent, Impulse, Stifle, Counterspell, 2 lands and a Petal, like those are all good cards, but like, what are you doing?
Yeah, if you're spending your time just kind of spinning your wheels, yeah, then it's a way for Roland to win. So Bloodstained Mire gets cracked.
And then
this is a pup. We gotta cheer for the pup.
Okay, we cheer for pup. Got a mountain.
If it's not a pup, we riot.
I actually saw somebody with a license plate a while back that said "Pup Go."
Pup Go. That sounds like my friend. Yeah, all right. Yeah. Pups in the house. I mean, it seems very rare. I mean, I love the Stifle Knot deck, but I think it's only because Sly is down that I'm cheering for the Sly deck. I think if Sly were to win this next game, I'd be cheering for the Stifle Knot deck, but
God.
All right.
So much for that.
All right. Well, there's overload options. I mean, like it's possible that overload can come into play.
My guess is when you play that pedal, that means he has backup, or he has a way to.
Yeah, but also Roland has cards too. Like there's.
Well, Swan's not playing any like Blue Blast, is he, or Hydro Blast? I don't think he is.
No,
right?
Actually, he doesn't. So what is that Lotus Petal representing?
Yeah, good point.
He's playing around Days.
Days, I guess.
All right. Well.
Oh yeah, no, that was your chance to interact, Roland.
He didn't attack with the pup. Come on, you gotta have no fear. Do you think Svanta would have blocked?
Probably.
All right, 12 damage. Yeah, I mean it's now or never. And now, well, I think Svanta only has 1 card, but is this an overload?
This is Overload or no?
I don't think so.
Yep, nope, that's it.
He's not casting all the spells.
Not all at once. Oh yeah, Vision Charter to protect it. That's actually a wonderful way to protect the Dreadnought.
Yes, that is something we did not talk about. Is even if there is an overload yet. So Svante just had the.
But that's exactly what this deck does. You know what I mean? In mulligans, it finds the combo, and if you can't do it, it just has free wins.
I'm gonna go to the general chat, and we can, if they are willing to talk, then we can. I'll unmute them.
Okay.
All right, I have them unmuted.
Definitely good games, Svante.
Yeah, you too. Good meeting you.
I've unmuted you guys.
Yep, yeah, I have you guys unmuted on stream. So if there's anything you want to talk about the matches or sideboarding or anything else in general, anything you want to plug, now would be a good time to do it.
Svante, you have any words?
Well, I mean, this was kind of a strange tournament.
Those are his words.
Well, the tournament, the metagame was a little bit strange. The metagame was sort of strange because of, I played 7 rounds and 4 of them were against Sly.
Well, I mean, I think Sly is in the monthlies is actually underrepresented. I mean, I think it's a better deck than what people play it. I think a lot of times in the monthlies, people are playing decks that they enjoy, and Sly's kind of the fun place. So I mean, like all the time, whenever I'm brewing, I'm like, I always test against Sly, and I'm like, the Sly matchup's not good. I've never like found a deck where I'm like happy to play against Sly.
Well, you should try this one.
Well,
try this one.
That's true. I have played that deck, so I guess that is fair.
Dreadnought's very good against Sly, as we just saw. It's just in the game ones before sideboards, you have no way to interact with it. You know what I mean? You're not going to deal 12 damage to it, you know. And then the post boards, like we thought you were going to bring in those 7 cards, and it was just like, it's just still hard to fight through it all, especially when it happens.
I think the blue-black version is the best one against Sly in general. It's able to mulligan the most aggressively with the 4 Lotus Petals, and like it has portents, and like a lot of the other cards or other versions are playing multiple colors, and they have to cut cards like portent. Yeah. And I think it's just the most streamlined version, and is the best in playing a turn 1 or turn 2 Dreadnought, which is the thing you want to do against a deck like Sly.
Yeah, and game 1 we actually established that Svante doesn't really need to go off turn 1. He can just like hold off to turn 2 or turn 3 perhaps if he just needs to set up like a turn that he's just going to go off and do his thing. So you can definitely afford to mulligan aggressively. And when we were mulling to, let's see, 5 apiece at that point, that was... I went that direction and followed him in the mulligans because I knew that if I just had burn in my hand, I was not going to do anything. I was just living off the top.
Right.
And I couldn't go down to 4 either, so I was stuck with basically the 2 land hand plus some dorks here or there. But it was a very fun match. Either way, I'm glad I got 1. Yes. If this was a sweep, that would have been like, all right, well, that was a waste.
We said it was mulligans. A lot of decks you kind of think like when players are mulliganing, the games are going to go slower. But when you're playing against a Stifle Knot deck, that's not necessarily the case because they're just trying to find that combo.
I also think
we also said it was going to be very hard for you to win 2 games on the draw.
Yeah.
What'd you say, Svante? I'm sorry.
No, I was just saying that this deck
is. I cut you off. Go ahead. What'd you say? We didn't.
Yeah, I think this deck is also sort of better at mulliganing because it plays 4 gush. So like I can mulligan into something and get a little bit of the card advantage back that way if I don't get the combo right away or if I have to play it a little bit faster. So I really like the gush angle, like the gush foil angle, which is really the weird thing is like playing blue-black doesn't give me more black than the Esper version, but it does give me foil and gush, which I like a lot, probably more than most people.
Yeah.
But I really like it.
So Svante, you talked about how you like your red matchup, but you have the 4 chill in the sideboard. Is that like a metagame quality? You thought there would be a lot of red decks, or what is the reasoning if you felt like the Sly deck you're pretty good against them, but that you still wanted 4 chill in the sideboard?
Well, you need something post board because they can have a lot of board cards in the matchup, as Roland did, for example.
Okay.
or even more than that. For example, like if I didn't have much board, then I think I'm disfavored against slide post board probably. So I need something there. I'm not
Okay.
sure what's better, but then again, like this is a combo deck that can't board that much in general, so the sideboard is actually not that stocked. I could easily fit in some more cards in any matchup if I really wanted them, but it's sort of hard to know. Then again, I'm not sure Chill is really better than Hydroblast,
Okay.
actually.
How did you guys board?
I
How did you
cut,
sideboard, Svanta?
I cut my one counterspell, my one boomerang, and the two mesmeric fiends for the
Okay.
4 chills. That's it.
I think that's what we said. Okay, that makes sense. And are you still
We thought.
Roland? How did you sideboard?
Basically took out Mod Fanatics. The Sulfuric Vortexes, they're too slow. Mod Fanatic is inconsequential, just
Okay.
opening up space. I think in total 7 cards in, like the overloads plus the 4 reps.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we weren't sure if Sulfuric Vortex or Curse Scroll was a better card.
I did sideboard out 1 Curse Scroll just to make space.
Yeah, they both seem slow, so we weren't sure. But the Fanatics, again, you should just think they just don't do enough. Like they don't add to your clock enough, and that it's such a tough matchup in general. But yeah, if that makes sense. So, well, anyway, thanks for playing, guys. I hope you enjoyed the day.
Thank you. It was a lot of fun to play. I haven't been playing Premodern for ages, so it was really good to put together this. Thank you so much for doing this.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations to both of you. So.
And thanks for hosting, Jared. This was awesome. Thank you.
Absolutely, yeah. I learned some things today. It just it's a little bit of a learning process, but I think we got it all done. And actually, other than a little bit of like round 3 with that breed pairing, I think everything went very well. So I really enjoyed doing it for the community, and we raised about $250 for the Partners in Health COVID Relief Fund. So that's nothing to sneeze at either. So just a little charity going back, and we've even had some people donate to me outside of the event as well. So. Right. We didn't get to play. So that was cool.
Thank you for hosting, Jared. I don't know if I got the opportunity to say that, but yeah, thank you.
Yeah, well, thank you for helping out with the stream for the Stop 4. I'm thinking, and Andrew Walker as well, who hosted on his channel for a lot during the day.
I guess anyone watching now probably knows the result of the other semifinal, but if you want to watch the replay, Andrew has that on his Twitch and would be uploaded to his YouTube channel too.
My guess is that it went very similar to that because it was a Stifle Knot and Red Deck matchup. So if I had to guess. So. Anyway, again, congratulations, Svanta. Congratulations, Roland. Thanks for playing. And we'll do this again. We have the monthlies are still going on every month, and I think we will do some more tournaments like this in the future. Because it seems like it worked pretty well. So
I love it.
Awesome.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks, guys.
Thanks for
Have a good one.
Watching.
Later.
Bye. All right. So, any last thoughts?
No. I mean, my tournament didn't go that well. I won a total of 2 games, and though a lot of my games that I lost were pretty close, and I had to buy one round. So the 2 ones I won actual games. I'm not counting my buy as game wins.
Right, of course. Yeah.
So I went 1-4, but my deck was it was a lot of fun. How was your day?
I went 3-2. I probably had a chance. I had a win in the last round, and I was playing the 3-color Stifle Knot, and just
you started out 3-0, right?
3-0, yeah. Okay. And then I lost to the Rock deck that we watched in that first match, the semifinal. Just it's a bad matchup for me. He's got disruption removal. You know what I mean?
It's hard because you wait, and your hand gets stripped, and you commit to the board. He either removes it or deeds it away or something. It's hard for you to deal with that.
Very, very tough. And then my final round was against the other semifinal opponent of Svanta, James Smith, and he had the red deck, and I just had game 1 I won, and then game 2 and 3 I just kind of had bad mulligans and couldn't get going.
You were playing the Esper version, right?
Yeah.
So is your sideboard significantly different? Do you have chills in the sideboard, or?
I have right now. I have a Hydroblast and Blue Blast, and then a chill because I can find the chill with the whatchamacallit, the Enlightened Tutor if I need to. But I think what I learned today is that it's like it's a little too slow to go try to find it, especially on the draw or something like that, to go find a chill. Like usually the red deck has enough down by especially with a Lavamancer, Fanatics, Pups or whatever, they get down pretty early. But I think there's some still more experimenting. It's between those two color combinations for me as far as which the best Dreadnought version is. But I think anytime you're stifling a Dreadnought in some capacity, I think it's going to be a pretty solid tier 1 deck. there's very unlikely it's a bad deck, you know.
So I know you've been leaning towards the Esper version for a while, but we saw Svanta with just the streamlined blue black version. Do you still like the Esper version more than others, or is it just kind of like a pet deck? I guess, or do you think it's just a horse apiece and you either is like about the same, they're just small percentages different, or
I think one that you get, you know, one has Gush and Foil, the other one has Meddling Mage and Enlightened Tutor. So it's
right?
like those are kind of the decision points. And the white, you know, the mana is obviously better with the blue black version because you just have blue and black and really just a blue deck, you know, with the black for duress and fiends and something on the sideboard, right?
Yep.
But you know, with the 3-color version, you do get the. I like to think of the 3-color version as like a very sharp surgical knife. It's not a blunt instrument. It is going to find its thing and do it as fast as possible and disrupt a little and just go for it. And you get a lot of free wins like that. And whereas I think you can dig a little better with the blue black version. So I might try the blue black version again next time. But I kind of like them. I like them both. That's for sure.
Okay.
So, but I just think duress is, you know, again, one of the best cards in the format. So, and it's what you want to do. Like take a look, get rid of the removal, and know if you got it or not. You know. So
Yeah.
anyway, so yeah.
Cool.
Anyway, well,
All
yeah,
right. Well, thanks everyone for tuning in. And
absolutely.
if you're interested in more pre-modern content, we are doing the Pre-Modern Showdown series on this channel. If you're not already following, you can give it a follow. We're doing it on Mondays and Wednesdays, and Jared is actually one of the competitors in that. And I am doing commentary on it along with Flint Espel is the other commentator. And so there's 8 people, and they're playing a round robin tournament over 8 weeks, and they've picked 3 different decks, and every week one deck gets banned and then they pick between the other two, and so they'll play a match. So it's an interesting kind of game of you'll see different decks, and it's kind of adds another element to Magic where you have to figure out like, okay, what do I want to prevent my opponent from playing, and then based on that, what deck do I want to pick. So it's kind of an interesting layer. So
Mhm. Yeah, I've enjoyed playing it so far. We've just had the 1 week, but it was the cat and mouse game of like, okay, what do I play? What does he play? What does he ban? What do I ban? So I
yeah.
definitely like that little change.
So
Anyway,
all right. Take care everyone, and we'll see you next time.
take care. Bye bye.